All right, hello. Um, I wanted to. Well, I don't know really what I'm doing here. I'm doing I guess a Madonna. It's kind of a Madonna, Billy Idol, potential death date thing video, and also this connection with Billy Idol and Madonna, the White Wedding, to the Hoover Dam. Okay, and why these two characters are, I guess just are the main two characters really to do with the Hoover Dam? I don't know. Um, Let me explain, and we'll go through it a little bit. Okay, I don't even know where to start with this one, and I know there's going to be people just saying, "Dan, give it a rest on the Madonna stuff, mate. You're just completely nuts now." But if I don't do it, it'll just annoy me. So I might as well just do it. Um, anyway, we're on the $10 bill. Okay, why are we on the $10 bill? Because on the $10 bill we have the same fold. I say it's the same fold. It's extremely similar to the one that's on the $1 bill that makes the dam. Okay, and it's marked here with the written word 10, and here's our little fold marker here. Okay, very similar to the one that's on the $1 bill. And then you simply fold along this line, if you follow my cursor, all the way through to this other side here where the 10 is again. So we make the 10-10 fold. Okay, there's the fold marker there. Okay, and basically we cut off the top of Hamilton's head and go through his necktie here, and again we have the water coming over the dam. Okay, that's what's formed when you fold it right there. Okay, it's the same as the dollar bill almost. If we look at the dollar bill, I've got it up here somewhere. Here's our fold marker on the dollar bill. Here's our other fold marker. Sorry about the cursor size. I cannot get it bigger. I'm just going to have to squint at the screen. But here's our marker. We put the fold line through, and then we have the necktie, the Austin Powers necktie, making the water coming over the top of the dam. Okay. Again, Back to the Future, I think they make reference to this idea with the double ties in the future. It's actually the Hoover. That's where they predict the Hoover Dam collapse in Back to the Future 2 in the future, and they make the reference with the double tie like the 9/11. Okay, with the twin towers on the tie instead of this. But I think it's referencing this. Okay, I think it's referencing this idea on the dollar bill, them using the twin towers on the tie instead of the ruffles like Austin Powers. Okay, so this 10-10, what is important about 10-10? Okay, well the date is coming up, and one thing that is important about 10-10 is, let me go through this real quick, because this ties back to the Future again. This is all stuff that's deep in the back catalogue. I'm just trying to pull some stuff forward and talk about it again. But there's nothing new here today. Okay, there might be a couple of little new number jumps, but nothing really new. Okay, so from 9/11, we got it on this side, through to 10/11. Okay, is 30 days. Okay, now recall, obviously the day before 10/11 is 10/10. Okay, so October the 11th is 30 days. And then, so this is important. So that's our sort of midpoint. Okay, the midnight hour between 10/10 and 10/11. That's our midpoint. That's like 1985 in Back to the Future. And so they jump back to 1955, where they have the skateboard scene, and Marty pulls down one of the twin towers off the skateboard. Yeah, hands it back to the kid, and they do the skateboard scene. That's our, the whole film in 1955 is about 9/11 predominantly, I think. And, that's our 30-year leap back. So from this point here, 30 years back, which is 30 days here, takes us back to 9/11. Now, if we jump forward, I've got this as the midpoint, 1985. Now, when we jump forward, we want to go to 11/11, but we want to drop back a day because this is the date that's on the dollar bill. Okay, 11/10. Okay, November the 10th, and this is another 30 days. Okay, and this is the 30-year jump forward in Back to the Future from 1985. We're jumping 30 years forward now, and this is the Hoover Dam scene. Yeah, where they have all the boulders around and the big water feature in front of the clock tower. That's the Hoover Dam reference there with the Hoover boards, the hoverboards, the Hoover boards. Okay, so this is 10/10, not 10/10, 10/11, right? The 10th of November. Now, that's a 30-year jump forwards. Okay, so it ties in with Back to the Future, and then what you have encoded is two 30-year jumps, 60 days total. In fact, where was I just saw something with Madonna with 60 days? I can't remember what it was. Doesn't matter. Okay, anyway. 30/30 is 33. Yeah, that's our 33 for the 33 of Christ. Okay, the rebirth. Okay, so I don't know. Interesting coming up with the idea of Madame X is the 10/10, the double cross. If you watch in the background of the hoverboard scene, you will see XX as Marty kind of flings around the corner and then comes up over Griff's car. You will see the XX in the background. You will see the XXs in the background in Back to the Future 3 as well. When Marty is being hung at the courthouse, and there's some other numbers that you can get from other things that are in the background there. Well, you can get the 11/11 and some other stuff. Okay, so it's there. It's sitting in the background. I think in all of the films. Okay, is the XX. You'll see it. You'll spot it. So it's definitely something interesting to think about. This 10/10 point as a midpoint, as a balance point, right? That still makes me think that we're going to be looking at November. It's the big fold in the dollar bill. I guess I could go through it again and bring it up to date a little bit for people, but it's the one where the two sides. It's basically where the little shield at the one corner with the owl meets over with the big zero in the other corner, and that makes our 10/11. Okay, and you can flip it around and you can see the 10/11. That's the big fold in the dollar bill. That's the big one. Okay, so this 10/10 date that's coming up in October, I'm not sure about. Could it be a Billy Idol reference and Madonna reference? Let me show you why Billy Idol and Madonna both tie into this now, and the Hoover Dam and everything else, right? So if we look at Madonna, these are the two I've previously, coming up to this point, I got into palindropic numbers, and this one turned up for Madonna, okay, from her birthday, okay, 8/16/1958. It's 24,142 days, okay, and that brings us to the 20th of September this year, okay. So there's Madonna's palindropic numbers. Notice it's the numbers for Christmas Eve. Yeah, kind of. Just mixed up. But those are the numbers we have at Christmas Eve. Okay, 12/24. And then, if we look at Billy Idol, he has a similar number, except his numbers are the mixed up numbers for Christmas. 12/25, all mixed up. Okay. And his palindropic number, very similar to Madonna's, except it's 25,152. 25,152. So 25152. Now, what's fascinating about this is on the dollar bill, and I will have to explain this in a minute how that is on the dollar bill. Hopefully, I don't forget. Along with the date which it brings us up to. So if we go from his birthday, the 30th of November 1955, which is the Great Scott, Okay, it's St Andrew's Day as well. Okay, so that's our Great Scott reference. Through to 1010 this year, okay, is this number jump. So this is really fascinating because what is between Billy Idol's 1010 date and Madonna's 920 date is the 30th of September. What's so special about the 30th of September? It is the day that they dedicated the Hoover Dam. It's essentially the birthday of the Hoover Dam. Okay, the 30th of September is the midpoint between Billy Idol's palindromic number and Madonna's palindromic number. And it just so happens that those two sets of numbers are 20 days apart, with the Hoover Dam being right in the middle. So we have 10, 10. Again, our balance number, 1010 reference, so the middle of that, our balance number between Billy Idol and Madonna is the Hoover Dam, is the 30th of September. Interestingly enough, if we were to look at Madonna's jump to the Hoover Dam, it's 24,152. It's now got, when you go to the center point, what we have is we have Madonna's numbers combined with Billy Idol's numbers. Okay, we have those two palindromic numbers combined. And the same, of course, goes for Billy Idol. If we go from Billy Idol's birthday through to the Hoover Dam this year, it's 25,142. So we have Billy Idol's numbers and Madonna's palindromic number combined. Okay, his number first, her number second, and vice versa for Madonna. Her number first, his number second. So we have the same palindromic numbers basically just reversed. So this is a very, very interesting date for the combination of these two. It's almost like you could say it's the white wedding between these two. It's the balance point between Madonna and Billy Idol. Okay, just out of interest, if you look at their dates from each one's birthday to the other ones, okay, 16th of August 58 through to 11/30/55, okay, it's 990 days. You know, in our cycles, in our three different cycles that we use, like the Fibonacci cycle and the Fibonacci, the Lucas number cycle, and the what I call pi cycle. 99 is important because 99 is the only numbers that are opposite each other that do not add up to 9. Okay, every other number in the cycle, as you look across the cycle at what's on the other side, adds up to 9. The only two numbers that don't is 99. They add up to 18 first before you can reduce them back to a 9, I guess. But they add up to 18. Okay, so kind of special. 99 is special. Anyway, so we have this date, which is essentially the birth of the Hoover Dam. There is another date that ties in with the Hoover Dam, which is, so here's our, where is it in here? Somewhere in here. Here it is, the 30th of September, 1935. Okay. There was a handover date as well, which is March the 1st. And interestingly enough, if you look at March the 1st for a leap year and look at the twin date, that comes out at, where does it come out at? It comes out at Halloween. Okay, so you take that numerology 131, and that numerology again is the same as what is on the train that goes over the cliff in Back to the Future 3, okay, which is destroyed. It's the Black Pearl being destroyed. It's the Matrix being destroyed. This date here is the federal handover of the Hoover Dam. What I like to call is, it's like going into the system. Yeah, this is like the birth certificate person being born at this point. Okay, this entrance into the Matrix at this point. Okay, and so opposite side of the year, we see the balance of that is the thing being destroyed on Halloween in the film, or we at least have the 131 reference. Okay, and that also ties in with Madame X. Okay, so this idea of Madame X now becomes very interesting because of the X being 10, because of it being 10 days after her palindromic number to the Hoover Dam, which is going to be here very shortly, tomorrow actually, and then another 10 days to Billy Idol's palindromic number. So this X marks the spot thing. The Madame X reference becomes very interesting. And again, the actual story of Madame X, if you go just look it up in Wikipedia, the novel is basically, let me just really simplify it, it's basically about the feminine figure that falls from grace, and then at the end of the story, there's kind of a bit of redemption. There's balance is returned basically to the whole story. We have the fall from grace for the feminine figure, and then it's sort of returned by sort of saving the son, okay, before the death of that feminine figure. Okay, so you can go look it up. There's a little bit more to it than just that, but that's it, kind of really watered down, simplified. Okay, so this idea with Madame X, and 10 days after her palindromic number is the Hoover Dam date, the birthday of the Hoover Dam. Super duper interesting. Obviously, we had Billy Idol playing the Hoover Dam. What else have we had? There's a lot of references to Vegas in his lyrics in several of his songs. I don't know what else to say really. It's all there in the back catalogue. It's just a case of dredging through it all really. Anyway, so I wanted to put that out there. What have I got here? Okay, that was that. We've done this 10-10. Okay, so we can see, again, does it happen on the 30th? The middle point between Billy Idol's and Madonna's 10-10 connection? Does it actually happen on 10-10? Who knows when exactly, but this is, it's all tying together, do we see something with Madonna and Billy Idol happen? Do we see Madonna die on a certain date, then Billy Idol die on a certain date? Who the hell knows? Maybe we see Billy Idol die first, then maybe we see Madonna die. I don't know, But boy. Anyway, so we've done them 2 dates. We've done the 2 dates combined. We've done that stuff as well. I think we've pretty much done it all. The only thing that I really want to do now is show you one more thing. Let's just go to this a second. The notice that I don't know, the day before, on the 29th of September, we've got 93 days left in the year, and then we flip to the next day, we've got the 92 again, with Madonna's connection with 92, with that the 20th of September for her palindromic number day, and also the holiday this year, Labor Day, the idea of going into labor. Okay, that was on the 2nd of September this year as well. So this 9-2 is important. But notice we go 9-3, and then we actually go into numerology of 9-3 the next day as well, which is kind of interesting. There was something else I wanted to talk about. Oh, Madonna did. What was her first? I think it was her first film came out in '85, which was kind of interesting with this idea of the balance point. and I think it was called something like Sacrifice or something. And it came out in '85 on the 1st of October. And so if you've seen '88 Finished Temporis' stuff with what he's just been talking about, the 1st of October was obviously Harvest Festival, yeah, 9/1. The 1st of September, St. Giles's Day. If you look where that took place, Giles and whatever the main drag's called, Vegas. I don't know what it's called actually. Las Vegas Boulevard maybe, or something. I don't know. Whatever it is, the main drag is called anyway. But it is on the corner of Giles, and I think Finished Temporis has hit the nail on the head with the 10/11 connection. Obviously, that in the film he makes the point that they have the 10. I think it's the 10/11 date for the wedding, not the 10/10 date. I'm not sure. Anyway, right, pretty much the same time anyway. And that is blackjack. Okay, so you take the Jack, face value 10, with the ace 11. That's your 21. And it's also 11 as well, which is important because that is what we are trying to resurrect, is the number 11. That's what was lost on 9/11. No 11. No L. No L anymore. The loss of the number 11, okay, which is referencing balance. That number 11 is referencing balance. So that's what we've had the loss of, and that's what has to be rekindled, remembered. Okay. What else did I have here? So again, the 10/11, which is in the, so when I saw him do that Hangover video, man, I was like, whoa, you know. And if you notice, there's just a ton of references in that film. If I could watch it again now, I could probably get even more references out of it. But if you notice, when they wake up and they can't remember anything, okay, notice that the bathtub is running over. Notice that they have this blow-up doll, the whore, in the bathtub, floating in the bathtub. Okay, the bathtub's kind of running over. Notice notice they have a baby with them now. Okay, the one has been reborn. Okay, there's just a ton in that film. Where am I going with this? There was a couple of other things that I wanted to mention just in the charts. Okay, so this chart here, which I call the Queen's Cross, if you recall in GoldenEye, the Madonna scene, which is referenced twice with Boys and Toys, okay, because Madonna has that thing, boy toy. The tank in the scene is the number 343, a line through here, right, the center of this table almost. And then the train, okay, important reference with Madonna, the train, because she matches up with the gematria with train, and there's several other little references that match with train. That train has 745 on it, okay. Now, actually, the number that's in the middle of those two numbers is the number 4, okay, and we've got it right here, 44. Now, what is interesting is that ties in with this number jump date, kind of, because if we go from, let me find okay, here we go. If we go from her birthday to actually today, I might get this video up today on the 29th. Okay, it is 66 years, 44 days. Okay, and again, these two numbers here do reference the path across the United States. Okay, Route 66, Interstate 44 actually is kind of runs over the top of old 66, at least for several states, and actually at the center, it actually is more at the center of the I actually don't know where it's what it actually. I know it anyway. It runs down. 44 is basically local to me. Okay, I'm not quite sure when it gets up how far it goes to Chicago. I think it changes somewhere there, and again, of course, it changes when you get into those sort of those western states. So, but I guess what you'd say is that 44 kind of goes through the heartland area, and then 66. So these two things are kind of joined together, and if we recall, Route 66, the length of Route 66 is 2,448 miles. Yeah, so we have this 24 reference for this year, and the 48 eclipse reference for this year, the 48 eclipse reference. So that was what's fascinating about Route 66, and obviously then you've got Disney stuff with cars and etc. connecting to Route 6. There's a ton of stuff for Route 66, okay? But anyway, I just thought this was interesting for the 29th being this 44. So, you'd almost expect to see a midnight hour thing again, maybe. Or maybe there's nothing happening. Maybe it's just referencing, it's just an interesting reference to the 30th of September. This is also St. Michael's Day. So this connection with the Queen of Pop and the King of Pop, Michael Jackson. Michael, and obviously he was his birthday was 8/29, if I'm recalling correctly. So this is kind of interesting with the 29 connection with Michael Jackson. Anyway, Michael and St. Michael's Day and slaying the dragon. And I think I had a video back in, talking about Madonna and being the dragon and all this stuff as well. So it's just interesting stuff. What else to say? We've got, well, I think I'm going to call it there. At 44. Oh no, I'll show you one more thing that kind of ties to tomorrow as well, 39. Okay, so if you recall down the bottom of this chart, I have Fibonacci down here, this row, this blue row, and then this is just the transcendental, the first 24 digits of pi, actual pi, and then this one is phi. I'll draw kind of a lollipop thing there. Now, these first two rows, the blue and red, I have aligned those two sets of numbers because they've got some numbers that match up in the middle, and it's 358 and 358 Christmas Eve. So this is important with the 124 stuff. Oh, and I've got to show you the dollar bill reference to Billy Idol as well with 1010. Hang on a minute. Don't let me forget that. So these two sets of numbers line up here. Okay, this is why we've got Fibonacci starting in a slightly different place than at the beginning of this. Now, note that 911 in here in Fibonacci aligns with 926, which is Olivia Newton-John's birthday. And then notice that Olivia Newton-John's death date comes over here at 8/8. Okay, the 8th of August when she dies. Okay. Now, what was I going to say? If we've just got phi underneath here running the same, just in straight order, the same as pi is running. Now, note that underneath Olivia Newton-John's birthday is 339, okay, and this is 39 basically that we're looking at here for the Hoover Dam. That's the numerology for the 30th of September, okay, for the Hoover Dam for tomorrow. Notice that her birthday comes right before this. Okay, and notice the 88 is right after it as well. Okay, so this is kind of interesting. And notice the connection, notice it aligning with Olivia Newton-John's birthday. Now, Olivia Newton-John was in a film called Xanadu, roller skating for whatever reason, I don't know. But anyway, so this roller skate film, right? And actually, the place where they set the film kind of has, you could pick the Hoover Dam symbolism out of that building as well. But anyway, in Madonna has a song called Dear Jessie, okay, and in that song, well, actually, it doesn't matter about her song. That song is covered by a band or a girl called Roller Girl, and in Roller Girl's video, they have a scene where Roller Girl goes down, and it's a reference to 88. It's a reference to the eclipse. It's a reference to the two, the formation of the Vesica Pisces, the two things coming together, the white wedding, however you want to describe it. There's a reference there of Roller Girl going down. So there's this connection to Madonna with this random video, and this connection back to Olivia Newton-John. Okay, and we can get back to the 3-9 from that by aligning with Olivia Newton-John's birthday here. And again, if we come over on this side as well, and we align this 88 down here, this is just, again, these gold numbers down the bottom are just phi again, but they're aligned with this 88 with this 88. What is important about 88 is 88 is the number that balances 11. Okay, in the Fibonacci cycle. Okay, this is why we see tons of 88 references to do with 9/11, because they're both tied together, so to speak. Now, again, with Madonna, her first wedding, right here. Okay, and actually somebody, I can't remember who pointed that out to me in the comments. Sorry, I haven't got back to people in the comments. I just haven't had time to do it. But somebody pointed out to me that Madonna's had a couple of weddings, and who else had a couple? Oh, Charles had a couple of weddings, and there's this idea of 2 weddings, which is interesting with the double cross, because the cross is like the wedding. It's the kiss. Notice that we have the kiss at the wedding to mark the wedding. So, and again with the eclipse, you have the double cross. You have the first kiss and then the last kiss. Okay, when it begins and when it ends. And so there's this really interesting idea with the eclipse and the whole going into the matrix and coming out of the matrix with a kiss with a double cross. Okay. Anyway, we've got her first wedding here. I can't remember when she actually married. I think it was sometime in December when she married Guy Ritchie. Oh, I can't remember off the top of my head. Anyway, I don't know actually if she's been married more than twice actually. But anyway, I don't know. Guy Ritchie anyway. And again, Guy Ritchie ties with the 9/1, like with the Harvest Festival thing. Again, with the 9, he's the 10th of September. So anyway, we've got this thing going on here with her first wedding, and right in the center of this thing, whichever way you want to look at it, is the Queen's death dates. Okay, so if we just drop down and we're looking down for Madonna here in this next row that's now been aligned, because Madonna's numbers are all the way through this blooming through the golden ratio numbers here, phi. When we look down, here's that same number aligning back with the Queen now over here. Okay, actually I don't want to do that. Well, yeah, no, sorry. There's the Queen, and that's getting a bit of a mess. There's 3/9 at the bottom there. So again, I don't know how you want to look at it, but it's relatively interesting just the way these numbers are kind of next to one another. And again, if we look at what we got going on with her wedding date, we again underneath that in regular old transcendental pi, we got this 3-9 occurring again with the wedding. This connection with the dam and the wedding. Okay, going into that thing, if you like, going into the matrix, and then we got to come back out of the matrix. Okay, I think I've done enough waffling. God knows how long that is. Now, I'm trying to think if there's anything significant that I've forgotten here. Let's go. Yes, there is, because you're yelling at me now. Dan, you were going to do the dollar thing. What was I going to do on the dollar? Oh yeah, I was going to show you this. So go to the regular dollar bill, and in fact, actually, let's do this, because then I can just show you the blooming fold again. New, yes, don't save any of that rubbish. And let's go to dollar bill. Yes, got the image. Let's just paste it straight in here. Okay, here it is, the dollar bill. Wonderful. Now, let me show you the fold so that you know how to do this fold that gets you to this is the big 10-11 fold. Okay, let me whiz through it. So all you do is you fold down through here. There's a little owl dude. If you can see my cursor down here, there's a little owl dude there, isn't there? That's a fold marker. Fold the bill there, bring that side over, and what you'll find is it lines up. Look, wow, it's like magic. Okay, so this all lines up nice now. Okay, and let me show you something here as well. If we're looking at this now, actually, before we do that, let me show you. Okay, the outline of this up here now, let's do it in red. Let me make it a bit bigger, hang on. Let's follow my line here. This is a P, and then right here we have an I. Okay, that's roughly going around it. PI, pi, okay. The 314th day of the year, okay, in a normal year is, let me show you this. Actually, now I need to turn it around. The 314th day of the year in a normal year. So we go rotate 180. Now this becomes clear, doesn't it? Right down the bottom here, what this is. Okay, because now you can outline this. Okay, and you can see that this is a 10. Oh, Dan. This is the 10. Difficult drawing with the mouse. And then here's the 11 that's inside it. 10, 11. Yeah, so the 10th of November is pi. It's the 314th day of the year in a normal year. What is interesting about a leap year is that our day jumps, and 9/11, the day before, which is November the 11th, the 9th of November, the day before this date, now becomes the pi day. Okay, another good day for Madonna to potentially croak because it has the pi numbers in it. But there we go. Okay, there's our 10/11. There is our blackjack. Notice that this guy is black. Okay, black and white actually, blackjack. Okay. What more to say about this? So let's look at the top of this now, and I'll explain this. So let's undo this. So this set of numbers here, what numbers have we got here? Right, this is a little bit more decoding here. So the first thing we have is we have a 1 and a 0, okay, and a 1 and a 0. I'm just looking at this inside here. Okay, so this is our this is 1010 here. If you want it to be 1010, this is 1010. Okay, this is a 10 and this is a 10. 1010. Now, what more is in there? This is a little bit more serious decode now. A little bit more of a stretch for people probably. Actually, the first part of it's not a stretch. Look at the shapes that are here. Okay, look at this shape inside of here. And then this is what looks like a portrait frame, a picture frame. Okay, this sort of horseshoe with the scroll work at the top, and scroll work, but you know, decorative motif stuff at the top here. It's a picture frame. It's a front-on portrait frame. This is the front-on portrait of Washington right here. Yeah, so this portrait frame is representing the dollar bill. It's representing 1. Okay, that's the first thing. This is the same portrait frame, but it's from the side on. Yeah, notice these wave things here is this part right here, side on. Okay, so this is a side portrait, of Washington. Well, it's not this one. No, it is the place where he has a side-on portrait is the quarter, is that coin, the silver coin, the quarter, is where Washington's head is side on. Okay, so this is 25 here, and then this is 1. Okay, because this is the $1 bill. Okay, 251. Now notice that this horseshoe here, this picture frame, has a point in here where it is mirrored. Can you see where this comes together down here? It's probably difficult to see, but right here we have this symmetry mirror line inferred. So run your mirror line straight up through here, and what that does is we're mirroring back this now. Okay, so we're mirroring back 5, 2. That is our number that's at the bottom of the dollar bill, maybe, if you want to decode it that way. 25152. Billy Idol's bloody palindromic number, which comes out from Billy Idol's birthday on 10/10. Okay, this whole thing here to do with Billy Idol, maybe 10/10. Yeah, Billy Idol, the $1 bill. Bill. Okay, I. 1 is I. I is 1. Okay, I is 1. Doll. Dollar. Oh, blooming hell. Billy Idol. Okay. One-Eyed Willie. Yes, One-Eyed Willie. The Goonies. That cliff is gonna cave, is gonna fall away. That's the dam breaking, and then One-Eyed Willie is gonna be set free. Okay. He's been trapped. One-Eyed Willie's been trapped. Okay. Oh dear. What else? I think that's it. Okay, you can see, you know, this is just the tip of the iceberg on the decode stuff on the dollar bill. There's just so much stuff in here. Okay. We're going to leave it there. I'll get this up. Probably won't get up before the 30th. I don't know, maybe it'll do it quickly. But anyway, you know, again, you know, I don't know if I can go back and pop that back, and I can show you this line. Let me show you this line. This is where you cut through with the 10/10 as well, and there is your line, your fold line through those 2 markers. Okay, and then we can just do this. Hang on. Oh well, fold it there, and then let's go to this blue, and let's color it in. This is the water coming over the dam. Okay, do you see that? Okay, let's go to black. Let's just outline the dam. Here's the top of the dam, comes round, comes down. Okay, this is what we've got going on. Okay, I'm leaving it there. And there's the mushroom cloud coming up. Okay. Oh dear. This is why Mario has to have all these mushrooms and in the pipe work. Yeah, in the plumbing. Oh dear. I'm leaving it there. Thanks for watching. All right, we'll keep. I'll keep my eyes and ears peeled for Madonna and Billy Idol as well. And I would just the last thing to say is thanks Decoder Ring for telling me about Maggie Smith, who just died on that last decode day for Madonna, the 27th. There are a couple of little interesting connections there with Maggie Smith and that tie back to Madonna. The thing that really ties back, interestingly, is this reference to the secret garden. Okay, and I'll probably do it another day. There's nothing that's majorly, there's no major reference, so to speak, other than that Maggie Smith did the film Secret Garden, which ties back to that child's book, and then Madonna did a song, Secret Garden, a cruder version of the idea of the Secret Garden to what the Secret Garden is, and but there's this tie-in with a Madonna song, the film, and the tie-in with the witch, which is really interesting as well, because there's this tie-in with the Wizard of Oz, the witch in the Wizard of Oz was another Maggie, Margaret Hamilton, which ties into the $10 bill again with Hamilton on the $10 bill, and there was a couple of interesting little dates. It wasn't nothing crazy, and there was some interesting gematria with the 127 and some of the characters that Maggie Smith has played. But I haven't really investigated the Secret Garden thing. But again, that goes back to Snatch as well with Guy Ritchie and the pub in Snatch, which has some really interesting references back to the eclipse, and it just goes on and on and on. And that I think was called, I don't know if it's the Jolly Gardeners or just the Gardeners, and it's got a secret garden. But anyway, the pub has a secret garden, I think. I'm going to leave it there for this video, but I just wanted to say that there was some marginal references back with that character as well. So, yep, that's it. I'll catch you on another one soon. Alright, cheers, bye.